In today's video, after a long winter's nap, I'm getting the 93 S10 back on the road for the season, and noticed I got a bit of an alternator squeak, most likely the bearings or maybe the brushes, I don't even know. I'm not going to open it up. Components on this truck are very cheap. This was a 93 S10. It's got the 4.3 V6 non-vortec. And I'm also going to replace the timing belt tensioner while I'm in there, the timing belt, and the idler pulley, the separate idler pulley, and also the pulley that the timing tensioner comes with, just to get all the components in line there, because you sure don't want anything seizing up. On this vehicle, it runs the obviously the alternator, the power steering pump, the water pump. So if you lose that belt for any reason, anything seizing up, you lose them all. Potentially it'll throw the belt or break the belt if any one of those components was to seize, and they come cheap, so let's just replace them all. So as in any video, you're going to have the naysayers that say you're just replacing parts for no reason, but I'm going to show you that I already oiled the one tensioner pulley bearings for that wheel, and I could see it's kind of walking around, and also if you listen closely you can hear a little grinding in the alternator and an occasional squeak. Because during these repairs that I'm doing here, I'm going to be dealing with the main power cable that goes directly from the battery to the back of the alternator. We want to make sure we don't arc that out on anything, so I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the battery. Just about any procedure you do on a car, they say to do it, but this one especially is important because you will have that main cable and there is no fuse. On this vehicle, all I got to do is take off the air cleaner. I find it's just easier to get at access everything that we're going to have to get to here, and might give us a little easier time getting at the nuts for that. This piece comes off too with a little bolt here. Bottom just has a clip. And while we got the throttle body wide open here, I'm just going to spike it down in case I drop anything. It won't go down, and we'll have to fish it out the hard way. Now, sharp-eyed viewers of my channel will notice I'm going to break this up into 3 videos later, so it's easier to find people that want to do just one of these 3 operations I'm doing. So they will be a little repetitive, but I'm doing it for ease of people finding the videos that they need. One of the things I wanted to mention is GM's pretty good about this. They got these arrows here, and this arrow, and that's washing out because of the sun. One of the things I like about this tensioner system here, well, first of all, it's very simple, but it's got this little arrow. And on the back here, along this ridge, that arrow is pointing at that block of aluminum there. If the arrow is all the way to the end like mine is, that means your belt is stretched and doesn't have much more to give. The tensioner is almost at the end of its rope. If you put on a new belt, you'll probably be in the middle or, to that side. I'm just going to demonstrate how that works. I'm going to put a wrench on here, wrench down on that pulley, and I'm going to twist it a little. And you can see I'm able to unload that and that we're mostly at the end of the travel there. It only has a little more to go, and it won't be able to tension that belt anymore. Hoping I'm getting a good shot of that. Let me do it again in the shade. Like there's where it might be new, and then mine's all the way, you know, to the end. So just so you know how that tensioner works. So to take the tension off, I'm going to have to put this on a tripod, and I will get on that wrench and turn it counterclockwise to unload the belt. So for any of the procedures I'm showing today, no matter how you have to, what you're working on, whether it be your air conditioner, compressor, your tensioner, your idler pulley, your alternator replacement, power steering pump replacement, you have to get the belt unloaded. This is a tensioner, and it's spring loaded against that belt. I need to uncock the spring and slip that belt off one of the pulleys. And probably the easiest one to slip off is the one on the tensioner, because it's a smooth pulley. The other ones have ribs. So I'm going to attach one wrench to another here just to get some extra leverage. And I'm going to slip that belt. And that kind of sprung loose in a hurry, but now we have our belt that we can take off. Now we just fish that belt out. The only one that's got to go around is the crank pulley, so I'm going to get it loose down there and drop it out the bottom. Okay, and the last thing on this video series is the alternator, which is making a squeaking sound, and it could be the brushes, and it could be the bearings, and it could be, I don't care, because I'm replacing the whole thing, so we don't even have to worry about what it is. So I'll just come back here. Let me get a little screwdriver. There's a clip here for the control wires for the alternator. Make sure that's good and bright, no corrosion in there. There's a insulating clip so you don't short out your main battery terminal. Alright, I got you zoomed in there pretty good so you can see what I'm doing. Now I'm going to go for the main battery terminal. For this procedure, you especially want to have your main battery terminal disconnected, because if not, you will inevitably short this out on something and either cause damage to something or yourself. So we'll take that off, and then we just got a couple of fasteners, and that alternator will come right out of there. I'm going to start on this side. One bolt here from the back of the vehicle to the front, goes all the way through. Take that out, and I got another one that goes from the front to the back. Get you a better angle. Alright, get that hose out of the way there. Oh, this thing sounds terrible. I don't know if you can hear that squeak. Oh yeah, those bearings are shot, just like I thought. It's worse than I thought now that I got the belt off. There we go. Take that bolt all the way out. Looks like we got one more. Okay, and I got one more bolt on the back here going towards the front. Let's see what size that one is. 13. Got it. See if we got everything. Yep, she's all mine. I'm going to try to let you hear the bearings in here if the camera will pick it up. You should basically hear almost nothing. She's shot. Sometimes it's not the power generating parts, but the bearings that go. So for this job, I could have taken it apart, replaced just the bearings, put it back. Probably wouldn't have been good for a while. But instead, these parts come cheap. Brand new, not rebuilt, no core charge, no running back to the store, no nothing. Completely assembled with the pulley, the sheave, or with the fan, the sheave or the pulley, and ready to plug in. Nothing to do here. So we'll just compare our old parts with our new parts. And what I'm looking for in particular is, are these fan blades curved the same way, or possibly they put the wrong one in the box and you got something different. We want to look at the pulley size. If not, the belt will be too long, too short, whatever, and you would want to switch your old one. Where the ears are, so we got one hitting the vehicle here and one half a knuckle up. That's good. Our plugs. The reason you do this now is because you don't want to get it in the vehicle and then realize it's the wrong one, and then you got to waste half your day taking it back out. The plugs look the same. Our positive post came with new hardware even, and we're ready to install. Now again, just to show you how a new one acts, it should have almost no noise, and it should come to a nice crisp stop, not just keep freewheeling, which would mean, of course, again, the bearings are shot. You can see one of the bearings here. It's just a standard radial bearing. You could get them anywhere. But do you really want to for the price they're giving me this brand new alternator? No. And this, there's a bushing here and no bushing here. It's going to be a little bit of a tight fit. It's made that way. Probably would be good to have a dead blow hammer, but we'll just use the handle so we're not so harsh on our brand new stuff. Start by getting the main one lined up, I guess. Then we can get the other one and the front started. Just get them all started. The one from the back. Make sure everything lines up. It does. Now we could go for... Where's that other wrench? 15? That one's not perfectly lined up, but it'll get there. Just put them all in loose, because you're not going to just go for one and tighten it and think that the other ones are just going to magically happen. Anyway, I'll get those bolts tightened up, bring you back. As promised, all the bolts are tightened up. The main one, the brace one, and now we will attach. I'm going to actually use the original. This one is zinc coated. The one that I just got is just regular. Also, this one has the washer that spins on it. I don't know what you call that, captive washer or whatever. I think that's a better thing. Put our wires on, main alternator charging wires. Hold your wires, don't let them wrap around when they tighten. Put our anti-shorting plug back on. Actually, there was supposed to be some more separation in between those. There's 2 wires on here. There we go. And put our control wires into its socket. Snaps in nicely. That's all there is to putting in an alternator. Alright, now comes the fun part. Brand new belt, aftermarket. And we are going to fish that around all the pulleys, accessories, whatever they want to call them. I'm going to put some video here, and then I'm going to take a picture of this in case your sticker is missing. There's some video for you, and I'll get a picture in a minute. So in general terms on belts, just if you ever don't have a sticker or don't remember how it went on, the grooved side, the multi-rib side, goes to the grooved pulleys. The back side goes to any flat pulleys or idlers in general. Okay, what I've got in the frame there is the tensioner pulley. Now what I found is, now I have to pull this, put my wrench on that and pull that counterclockwise to release that tensioner, but the belt is above it right now, so get it hooked like on the bottom of that bolt if you can. This belt is not cooperating so much, but get it under the wrench where you got to go, of course. And now I'm going to use this wrench to multiply my torque. Slip the belt underneath. Let her go. Let's see what we got. Not bad. Thanks for sticking there to the end. Hope you enjoyed watching me keep my 28-year-old everyday driver reliably on the road, and I hereby declare this one Wildwood certified.